Hey, actually seriously debating about taking all my videos down again and actually never putting anything up again. Um, just reached a wall in my life that just, I don't know, I guess you could say I can't take anymore. You know, I've been contemplating my interactions with people and I've been thinking, it's kind of strange how children and animals seem to you know, like me. They gravitate toward me, and it's just people. It's older. It's adults. Just I seem to run into people, and they just have all sorts of issues with me. You know, and I try to look at the understanding of the children and the animal thing. It's like wild animals. I mean, it's like I have an affinity with these things, and one of the things that I was looking at characteristics of the animals and children is that they don't have the ability to make the same kinds of judgments in the sense that they evaluate who you are presently, right now, the projected sense of whatever you are projecting at that moment, rather than what they might know or hear from the past or what they might think and fear of the future. It's kind of strange because people will preach to you all the time, the past is the past, the future is the future, but 90% of the reason that people have so many troubles with each other is because they're either looking at something in the person's past or they're fearing something about what might happen in the future. People that live in that kind of world, I'm surprised they have any kind of relationships with anybody at all. What they're preaching to me is where I live, which is the now. I can't tell you, I'm by default set in the now. My life proves it. I have nothing to show because I've never been able to plan for a future, so there's no fear of what might happen there. I have no freaking clue. All I can see is what's going on right now. And as far as the past, if I think about my past, I'm hanging myself. So I'm not dead, and I'm not planning for the future. So where am I living right now? I believe that's why children and animals tend to accept me where adults will not. I don't know for sure, but I find this to be something that goes on in my life. And for me right now, I've had a good friend push me away. I have no idea why. I had another relationship basically hit a wall through nothing I did. I absolutely know I did 100% of my best in the situation. I sacrificed. I gave everything that I had. I did my best. I was talking to a good friend about what was the scenario and what happened and what went down. And he said, Chris, you should look at yourself and pat yourself on the back. He says, because if you've told me the truth, you've done all that you can. And the reasoning behind why this person pushed me away had nothing to do with anything I could control, and so I should, he was saying, you should feel good that you did the best you could. You did what you could. You were 100% true blue. And I know that, but it doesn't make me feel any better, And as I said, every time I get way low, it's usually a child or an animal, a wild animal at that, who will come by me or come into my life or come near me, almost as if to cheer me up. It's like God's answer to me through the things that live in the present moment, the things that don't have the ability to make assessments according to what they think or what they've heard or what they think they know or what their fears are. That's where I want to live. I don't, you know. I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, they just want to have fun. They just want to have fun." You know what? Fun isn't free. There's a lot of strings attached to fun. Let's look at a lot of different kinds of fun. I mean, if you look at every kind of fun that there's a lot of strings attached. Sex is fun, but if you're not careful with it, you can have kids, maybe unwanted children. Alcohol is fun, but if you're not careful with it, you can get sick and it can rule your life. Drugs are fun, then if you're not careful with them, you can ruin your mind. Everything, speeding down the highway is fun. Dancing is fun. There's a whole lot of stuff, but there's always a price tag on it. One of the things in life that I think the most important thing in my life, I just want to have peace. And there is no peace in the past. There's no peace in the future. There's peace here, but you gotta sit in it. You gotta want it, and you gotta sit here. And sitting here is not easy for a lot of people. I mean, I hear a lot of people preaching to me that I need to live in the now and you got to forget about your past and you got to plan for the future and blah 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 blah. You're not living in the now when you're preaching about these things to me. I'm sitting here in the now and I'm saying, okay, yeah, I agree with you. Here I am. You know, where are you? You know, this last relationship was like that. I was doing everything now, sacrificing, loving, being kind, being generous, right now, and all they did was sit there and worry about my past, what might happen in the future, my past, what might happen in the future, you know, and they kept on preaching to me about this, and it's like, dude, yeah, I'm ready to go. Here I am. And we never got off the ground. We never went anywhere with anything because that's all they did was sit there and focus on those two things, you know. And I learned very little about them. I mean, they revealed very little about themselves. So I mean, well, you know, we talk and blah 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 blah. But, you know, I don't know what it was that they saw in me in the first place. I can't tell you because they spent so much time worrying about where I came from and where I might be going. I don't think they even knew who the fuck I was now. To tell you the God's honest truth, and God only knows what they might have heard from somebody else. And how relevant is information based on something somebody's telling you when you know it's based on something that happened in the past? You know, you want to talk to somebody about what's going on with Chris, talk to somebody that has to work with me every day. You know, it's like I said in my last video. Talk with somebody that's right here with me now. What is Chris doing right now? That's what the children base their assessments on. That's what the animals base their assessment on. They don't know what you did in the past. They don't look at what might be happening. They look at how you are right now. The projection of yourself that you are right now. You know, I tell you right now, I'd say 90% of what we struggle with as a human race, between each other, the arguments, the wars, all this bullshit, if we could just live in the now, I'd say 90% of this stuff wouldn't even exist. No, because we want to assess everything. That's what we do. God doesn't, I'll tell you what, God doesn't make assessments like that. He doesn't. He reads you where you are. Now, he says so. He says so in the Old Testament, you know. If you do bad today, then if you're acting bad now and you've turned away from good, then I'm going to treat you according to your bad. If you're acting good today and you turned away from your bad, then I'm going to treat you good. I won't remember the bad. I won't remember the good. Either way, that yesterday is no more. What I'm treating it according to is what's going on with you right now. Who are you now? What are you projecting right now? Where are you going right now? You know, it's everybody I know out there has preached to me on this, and yet they are treating me according to something either in my past or something I might possibly do in the future. You know what? I've heard people say this to me. You know, I don't have the time for that. Well, I don't have the time for it. I really don't. You know, all I can say to the people that have cut me off is stay the fuck away from me. Seriously. If you can't live presently and you can't see who I am right now and you can't see the demonstration of what I'm doing right now, stay away. Okay? I'm not going to be able to help you. You're not going to be able to help me. And I want my peace more than anything else. You can have your fun. But again, remember, with fun, there is a price tag. Peace, the only price tag is to live in the now. Thanks for your time.